October 19th, 2025. Paris, 9:30 a.m. A team dressed up like construction workers breaks into the Louvre, goes straight for Napoleon's imperial treasures, and disappears in under 4 minutes. No alarms, no witnesses, and no trace of them. So, how do you rob the most protected museum on Earth like it's nothing? And why do we have a cartoon-looking detective on the case? Well, today we're gonna find out, because it's another episode of Odd News Weekly, and today we're trying out a whole new video format. We're gonna do deeper dives into interesting stories in this video series, and today we're gonna talk about the Louvre Heist, which is now called the Heist of the Century. So let's get right into it. Part 1, how they did it. So let's play this out step by step, exactly how they did it, kind of like they do in Ocean's 11. Except no handsome men and no George Clooney, just a bunch of guys in some construction outfits. CCTV shows a white utility van pulling up near the Louvre's Apollo Gallery wing. 3 men hop out wearing full construction gear, high-vis vests, hard hats, the whole thing. They roll up a portable lift like any maintenance workers would. I mean, this is Paris after all, and you know what they say, if there's no construction, it is not Paris. I don't know, I can't do a French accent, but we're just gonna roll. Anyway, moving on. This window here is where they entered from, at a perfect blind spot for no cameras to see. And they used regular power tools you could get at any Home Depot to cut through the glass and get in. They go straight for the national treasures, the most priceless being Empress Eugenie's crown. With the 3 guys, the whole job was done in 3 minutes and 47 seconds. And that's the quickest money they've ever made in their lives. It takes me more time to heat up a burrito than for them to come across generational wealth. But it wouldn't be called the Heist of the Century for nothing. They then climbed down and got on scooters waiting in the alley. Yes, mopeds. And they vanished before the police even got any alert. Mopeds, I know, could you get any more European? And also, maybe they just watched a few too many Jason Bourne movies. But there you go. But by the time the guards check the gallery, the treasures are gone. And all that was left on the scene were a couple items. Gloves, a high-vis vest, a motorbike helmet, angle grinders, other power tools, a blowtorch, and a walkie-talkie. Which brings us to part 2, the treasures. What exactly did France lose at the day of the heist? These weren't just normal diamonds, these were pieces of French imperial history. The jewelry and crown of Empress Eugenie de Montijo. Yes, Montijo, not Mojito. Although, it would be cooler to say Eugenie de Mojito. That sounds cool. I mean, just look at her. She looks like she could really use one right about now. But all the items that were stolen in the exhibit at the Louvre are reported to add up to $100 million, or 88 million euros. But if you speak to any expert on these items, they're literally priceless. There's no way to put a price on these historical items. And mind you, this is the most popular, the biggest, and the most storied museum in the entire world. And some of the most important and culturally significant items in French history disappeared just like that. I mean, the Louvre stores apparently over 500,000 items in its walls. And these are some of the most valuable items in the entire world. Their biggest part of being a museum is keeping these things safe. Just think about how absurd that really is. I mean, it's the most storied museum in the entire world. This is like if a random plumber just came to the NBA and dunked on LeBron James. He was literally playing zero defense. The Louvre should do better. But speaking of doing better, we would all do so much better if you hit the like and subscribe button if you want to do that. So go ahead and do that if you want to. Which brings us to part 3. Part 3. Who was behind it all? Now here's what doesn't add up. Why did the Louvre, have a camera blind spot? And how did the thieves know exactly which cases didn't have an alarm on it? And how did they know that that window they came through could just be cut open with some random tools you could get from Home Depot? And craziest of all, how was it done in just 4 minutes? Well, some would say they're either extremely lucky or someone told them exactly what to do. If that's true, then these aren't just random thieves, and maybe this was an inside job. And here's where the story gets really interesting. So here are some theories that set the internet ablaze about what could have possibly been behind the heist of the century. Theory 1. The billionaire buyer. We all know that billionaires, even centi billionaires, which is a new term for billionaires who have $100 billion or more, have increased in number quite drastically in the last few years. So imagine an ultra-rich art collector just going, "Yes, I need you to find the most precious jewels in all of the world." Oh, why, you ask? For fun! I know it sounds far-fetched, but this is a really common theory whenever a new art heist makes global news. I mean, who else has the power and the resources to put together a team of ultra thieves? Just like Danny Ocean and the Ocean's crew. Except I'm no glamour and no suits and no cool watches and no handsome men. Although we don't know that yet. But just a couple guys in some construction wear. But still, there might have been someone behind it. And mind you, these precious artifacts can be broken down into diamonds and their constituent precious materials, but because they're priceless as a whole, the individual components would only make but a fraction of the value of the whole on the open market. So think about it. If there is someone who wants something like this, that's too valuable to put a price on, is someone who could buy anything. And this is the only thing they couldn't buy. So they had to find some new way to get it. Exactly! Only a billionaire could want something like this. Only they could actually want these priceless artifacts, and only they have the means to actually find a way to get them. So we're watching you, Elon, Zuck, Bezos. We're watching you. You never know. But moving on. Theory number 2. The inside job. Okay, the billionaire theory was pretty good, but there's just not enough evidence that suggests that there was an actual billionaire behind this whole scheme. But there is a lot of evidence that points towards this theory, the inside job. They knew the blind spot, they knew exactly which cases didn't have an alarm on them, and they knew exactly how to get in there with regular tools. And here's the interesting bit. There were actually some reports of Louvre employees going on strike just a few months ago, talking about being unhappy with the way the management was doing things. And not just that, this ex-jewel thief that was interviewed by CNN believes it was an inside job and that the perpetrators were clearly amateurs. So what if a disgruntled employee finally had enough, but they also knew every inch of the Louvre like the back of their hand? Everything sounds too coincidental and a little bit too suspicious for me. And maybe one of these Louvre employees that went on strike had their hand in now what is called the heist of the century. And now, France is panicking. The Louvre isn't just a museum, it's a national institution. I mean, it's the Louvre and the Eiffel Tower. Actually, no one else knows anything about France other than the Louvre and the Eiffel Tower. Although, I guess a baguette and a croissant, you know. But still, but maybe people can be at ease now because they found this guy, who seems to look exactly like a cartoon detective who's never failed a case. But actually, it's been confirmed now that that was just a passerby and not a detective. Even if the internet completely agreed that that guy would make a cool detective. But I still wish that there was someone on the case who looked like this, because they look like they mean business. It's unfathomable. It's almost like if Joey Chestnut lost the ability to eat hot dogs. You had one job. And sure, now there's been reports of 2 out of the 4 people involved in this case have been arrested. And I think there's still an ongoing investigation about if they were actually guilty of the heist. And you might think that this mystery is solved and that the case is closed, but here's what we still don't know. Where are the jewels, you ask? No one knows. Absolutely no one knows. And the people who are now in custody refuse to talk. And it does beg to ask the question, can you actually sell these French royal treasures without getting caught? Probably not. Unless you know the right kind of wrong people. Who wrote this? This is really cringe. I'm sorry. But anyway, maybe these treasures are now hiding in someone's vault. I mean, we never know. Maybe there's a billionaire that has a vault somewhere in Dubai or Monaco, and these treasures are just hiding somewhere in there. And maybe we'll never see it again. And if this was a commission theft, then they're probably gone forever. But if this was an inside job, then whoever's inside is still out there. Who wrote this? Why are there so many one-liners? I feel like there's some kind of bad superhero movie. This is like cringe action movie writing. Anyway, so what do you think? Do you think this is a perfect crime? Or do you think they're gonna get caught eventually? Let us know in the comments below. And with that, I hope you all enjoyed our special video on this very special topic. Did you like it, or do you like the more normal episodes that we have here on Odd News Weekly? Let us know in the comments below, please. Any feedback would be great. Tell me if it's bad, if it's good. We can always change and try to make it better for your entertainment. Next week, we'll probably be back with regular programming, just like the usual. 10 stories from all over the internet, the craziest that we can find. So I hope you guys stay tuned for that. But if you enjoyed this video, please let us know. Hit a like, hit a subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let us know what you think and how we can improve. It all helps. It really does. And I like to congratulate you for reaching the end of the video. Can you believe it? Us here together at the end. You make me feel special. And all of you are special. All of you are special. And I hope you guys have a great day. So, this is Brick from Odd News Weekly. And remember, folks, stay odd. Bye!